Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our second best of three of the night coming up here for the Korean Starladder Season 9 playoffs. I'm Zyori, and with me now is
Merlini Dota.
Oh, this guy, yeah. We got K-Pop here. And we've got MVP Hot6 versus Birdgang.
Right.
So,
fun matchup.
Pretty exciting. Is there a Dota 2 lounge bet for this?
Should be. I thought I saw some posted.
Dota 2 lounge. What are we looking at here? This is a good time. Okay, so, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I looked at the top one at first. No. I was like, oh no. Okay, so it is Birdgang 77%, 23 for Hot6.
I told you they were a favorite.
That sounds appropriate-ish. Yeah.
Hot6 is good, but they're not.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And we fixed our sync issue here as well. So
yeah.
So
hopefully.
Yeah. It looks like it's better though. I think my mic might be mispositioned a little bit here. Anyway, this draft is actually well underway, so I think we can just hop on into it here. And oops, let's hide this title. Yeah, there we go. So, all right, MVP Hot6. Wow, this draft went really fast. It just started a moment ago. These teams know what they want to play.
Haven't used any bonus time.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, seriously, this is like cruising. Everybody knows what they want to do. So, Birdgang will start off with Bat Rider and then grab themselves Ancient Apparition. We've seen, I know Bat Rider is popular here in the Korean scene. We saw him banned out a little bit in the first series. Not surprised to see him picked up here. The first pick, Crystal Maiden with Mirana. Then they'll grab the Abaddon Weaver duo with their third and fourth picks.
Abaddon Weaver is very strong. It's a good combo. Because usually when you have a Weaver, you want to get some type of survivability support behind him. So you can throw an Aphotic Shield on him if he wants to dive the tower, heal him up with Mist Coil, etc., etc. So Abaddon Weaver is a good combo. But Birdgang picking up the top-tier Chinese support duo, the AA Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Both of them, I like these two supports together because they have very different skill sets. Rasta is really good at pushing. Ancient Apparition is really good at defending pushes. Rasta has a lot of crowd control, and Ancient Apparition has
a lot of kill potential.
A lot of damage. Yeah, Shatter is pretty scary. So this is what I like. It's basically the polar opposite of Ancient Apparition and Venomancer.
Yeah.
You know, and to credit that duo, we actually did see an AA Veno combo that worked really well and dominated. But
to be fair, it was Cloud9.
That was a 55-minute game. Yes, it was Cloud9, so a little different, but still, I don't want to poo-poo that combo too much. But anyhow, it will be an Invoker fourth pick. Very exciting.
Someone's been watching their Chinese Dota.
Ooh, Invoker. I like seeing Invoker, man. He's a fun hero.
Invoker's great. I definitely prefer Birdgang's lineup right now. Hot6. This is a very 6.79 lineup from Hot6. That's not a bad thing. But I feel like Birdgang has done their homework better, I guess.
Yes.
Not to say that strict just laying still with the meta means that you play better. But
no, you make a fair point though. They have very what I would call new agey heroes, keeping it with this meta. MVP Hot6, Weaver Abaddon, that was a popular duo. While even just Weaver in general, he's not so hot in 6.
Weaver was the morphling of TI3.
Yeah,
by far the most picked carry hero.
And even Crystal Maiden again, 6.79 or 6.78. That's where she was.
About Crystal Maiden trends.
Top tier. And now, I mean, she's just fallen off. So they have some outdated
she's stupid,
heroes.
Dude.
She's stupid.
she got her brain nerfed.
Yep. See you later, intelligence. We're going to have to...
Intelligence reduced.
We have to take a little bit off that.
She was out partying too late. She drank too much. Lost too many brain cells.
That AR video was so funny. The Magnus with the pipe just... and she's in the background just smacking herself in the head.
Yeah, it's true.
So we'll see what Hot6 want to do with their final choice. They will need a mid-hero of sorts. TA was the final ban from Birdgang, and not a bad choice. They could go with a Dragon Knight here. That wouldn't be too bad. Nice,
might be their mid-hero.
Nice stunner. It's possible. That's certainly true. But
I actually don't know how.
I'm not sure how Hot6 want to lane this. They could do duo lanes with a 2-1-2, like a Weaver Abaddon, Crystal Maiden Mirana. They could do a tri-lane with the Weaver and throw Mirana in the off lane. They could put Mirana mid and then grab an off-laner here. There are a lot of options. If they wanted to put Mirana mid, they could grab a Clockwork, and then either Mirana or Clock could go mid or off-lane. We did see a Clockwork mid in the series just before this. So
what I would prefer to see is an aggressive tri-lane out of the Weaver, Abaddon, Crystal Maiden. Because Ancient Apparition, Shadow Shaman, not the best defensive supports in a lane.
Yes.
Ancient Apparition, like, he's got good lane presence with Chilling Touch, but
He's the opposite of defensive. He's aggressive.
he's an aggressive.
Yeah.
So if you can run something like an Abaddon Weaver Crystal Maiden, which is in a very aggressive lane against him, up in his face, and you're taking engagements when he can't get a good Chilling Touch off on several of his own heroes, you can do a lot of damage. And
10
so
seconds remaining.
yeah, okay, so they will
Okay,
get
they'll
a
go
mid
Puck.
hero. You're
Yeah,
right.
nice
Radiant
mid hero.
team.
I feel like this is going to be a solo safe Weaver and an aggressive tri lane. That's my guess, and I'm
Maybe it is.
sticking to it.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad guess. And aggressive tri-lane with Weaver Abaddon does work really well because he can Shikuchi into the tower. He has a Photic shield. It keeps him alive. Also does a little bit of damage as well. And then if he gets into a sticky situation, he can always get healed up by that Mist Coil. So that is definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
So Birdgang has to think.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we have to pick a carry hero that's not going to get completely shut down by this aggressive tri lane, because surely
5
Birdgang is thinking
seconds
it's a possibility,
remaining.
right?
Mhm.
So they're thinking, what
Yeah.
carry can we pick that isn't going to get
Reserve
absolutely pooped
time.
on?
Slark has been banned out already, and he would have been a good option here.
Luna.
They'll
Okay.
go Luna.
Luna
And-
AA is good.
yeah.
If you can kind of pick your engagements, that right click, 3 ranged heroes, Chilling Touch, Lunar Blessing does a lot of damage. So
Yeah, exactly
it's okay.
right. In that early laning phase, it's not quite as scary as Lycan Ancient Apparition, but it's a similar flavor with the aura and the
Right.
Chilling Touch. So they can definitely put out plenty of damage, and they have the crowd controls from Shadow Shaman to maybe grab a first blood if they're not careful. I guess Shadow Shaman really isn't ideal for that Chilling Touch because he'll probably grab Shackle level 1, so he'll be disabling, not
He's a
throwing in
ranged
right
hero, though.
clicks. But
any
yeah,
ranged hero with
still
Chilling
isn't.
Touch is okay.
Yeah, still isn't. Certainly not bad, just one of those kind of like...
You don't want like a Sand King with Chilling Touch, because he's not going to be able to right click much. Any ranged hero
Yeah.
makes a lot more use out of Chilling Touch than your average.
Yeah, I kind of just like this
10
Birdgang
seconds
draft a
remaining.
little bit better. I see, like,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more well-rounded, I think. And here we go. Got our overlays all set up. All right, so we are in game 1 of this best of 3 series, our last best of 3 of the
Prepare for
night.
battle.
And wow, MVP, they're off to the races. They will do a 5-man grouping down here towards the bottom lane. Looks like they may want to put some wards down, a couple of sentries on the Abaddon, and yeah, a couple of observers here on the Crystal Maiden. Look at that Crystal Maiden hairdo as well. I've never... that's...
I hate that hairdo.
It's cute. Oh, why? It's so...
It's like,
A goddess with bobbed hair.
oh god,
He's placed 529 wards with this
my god.
with this rare hairdo here. K-pop Tosis.
I'm glad that like in this fantasy world of Dota they have like hair straighteners.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So MVP, they'll move down here into this this area here, and they will go ahead and throw down an observer ward. BG, they won't be in a position to contest it, and
30
they won't know
seconds to
exactly where it is.
battle.
They'll
Oh,
take the
they-
high ground.
This was a bad decision to check this Roche. If they actually go, and the arrow hits.
It connects on 10 bird. Now this Shadow Shaman, he's in big
What?
trouble.
Why do you check Roche? This is not a lineup that can do Roche. I was talking to
Yeah.
you about how easy it is to do Roche, but there's not a single ability besides like
This is...
Mist Coil that's good against Roche.
They don't have anybody that could tank it. This is... Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm not so sure that... Wow.
So you
interesting.
extend your hero out across the
Battle
river just to check
begins.
Roche when there's no chance in hell that MVP's actually doing Roche.
Yeah, well done by MVP, though. Really nice arrow right over the tree line right here. Very difficult to dodge. And just, well, overall good execution from MVP to get things started. So they're off to the races here. We'll see what Birdgang can do. Let's talk about these rosters. Though on the Radiant side, we do have Team Birdgang. It will be a safe lane, tri-lane. 10 Bird on the Shadow Shaman. He was the one that took the spill to get things started. JYU on the Ancient Apparition. And we will have Febby playing on the Luna down here in the bottom lane. MP will be solo mid Invoker. He will start off with that point in Quas. Probably a Quas Wex Invoker, but we'll see how it goes. And up top it will be the offlane Bat Rider, played by Sky.
And have we done MVP?
On the
I
Dire,
was
we
looking
have
around.
not.
Okay, awesome.
It's all you,
For on the
buddy.
Dire, we have Puck, played by Danny Boy. Up on the top lane, we have the Crystal Maiden, played by Dubu, getting ready to stack these camps. Alongside her in lane is the Moon Rider Marana, played by Andrew. In the bottom lane, we have a dual lane. I can't see it because it's green. It's Adam on the Weaver, joined by the Abaddon, which is Sunbee.
Sunbee, and oh, we'll see some action down here in the bottom lane.
And you're going to see how
Shackle
much
onto the
damage this
Abaddon.
Chilling Touch does on ranged heroes.
Oh, God, that's such an easy kill right there. There's just nothing the Abaddon can do. He gets shackled and right-click down. Luna did go first point in Lunar Blessing, so
Yeah.
that's plus 14 damage to every hero, and then Chilling Touch at level 1 is another 50 for 3 attacks.
Yeah, so you're getting plus 64 damage across 3 heroes. It's like having another hero in the lane.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's only 3 attacks, but still that's 150 damage across 3 heroes. That's 450 damage that Chilling Touch
How
can put
often
out.
before like 3 minutes are you getting more than 3 attacks off in a tri-lane?
That's a fair point.
And there they're going to go again, and why not?
He'll get stuck inside the shackle, but yeah, they won't do much more beyond that. I'm gonna have to sign out of Steam here real quick. Forgot to reset the computer.
And this is why they should have ran a tri-lane, because now they're just gonna lose both of these lanes.
Yeah, it is that 2-on-2 that I had originally thought, and I totally agree with you. I think the tri-lane would have been a lot better. Like, so far, what has this Crystal Maiden been able to do? Batrider is still 4-2 in last hits compared to the 5-0 Mirana. So they're not zoning out Sky. He's still getting experience. He's getting farm. He's already got his boots up. And Crystal Maiden is basically just farming the jungle. And
Tinbird's looping around again. He wants to go on Sunby once again.
Yeah. And
Chilling Touch.
Oh, they might be able to get a counter kill onto the Ancient Apparition. Weaver will come out of the Shikuchi. They've already used the Aphotic Shield, but it's a 2-for-1. Definitely not worth it.
No.
Weaver at least gets the kill before he dies, so he gets a little bit of solo experience there, but an obvious 2-for-1, and Luna will be the big breadwinner here and should be taking over, yep, #1 on net worth. 1-0-2 at the 3-minute mark.
I think MVP was worried about the tri-line. The strength of the Lunar Blessing plus Chilling Touch is why they tried to dodge the tri-v-tri, but by doing so, they just lost the lane entirely. And Weaver is much more farm dependent than the Mirana, right? So it's the Weaver is someone you have to worry much more about being safe and sound in the laning stage. And instead, they're throwing away their Weaver.
Well,
but he's going to
Weaver,
dive
yeah, he
on
might be able to
Febby.
get a kill onto Febby here. He's got the Aphotic Shield on.
Oh.
It will be Abaddon that gets credit for the kill, but that's the power of the Abaddon-Weaver combo. That's an easy dive right there.
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to happen. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if they could have done the tri-line, that could happen more often.
Yeah.
But the kills have been even so far.
It is tied up 3-3 here at the 3.5-minute mark, and what bothers me about CM is that she's not even helping the top lane. If she was up here completely zoning out the Batrider and he was getting nothing right now, then this is worth it. But they're losing this bottom lane, even though Weaver did get that solo or that kill onto Febby, still isn't enough. Luna's still in really good shape. Crystal Maiden solo farming the jungle, it's good, but it's just not good enough. The trade-off isn't high enough. Like, yeah, she'll get some experience, she'll get some farm, but winning these lanes is more important. Now Danny's in big trouble in the mid. 10-bird rotate. That's a shackle. Cold Snap to start it off. Killing spree for the Shadow Shaman. He's 3-1-1. He's off to one hell of a start.
Indeed.
And yeah, BG are just in good shape here. Adam will poke forward, but now he takes a Lucent Beam. And yeah, it is kind of a duo lane down here, but Shadow Shaman, he'll rotate down. There will be an invisibility picked up at the 4-minute mark, the bottom position, and they need to be careful. If Adam gets caught just a little bit too far forward, this should be an easy kill. And there's actually no dire ward coverage here, so they have no idea that it was an invisibility rune.
No.
This is bad.
I think Tinbird's going to be able to go here. He's going to try to go for Sunby because he's a much easier kill.
Yep,
And there it is.
Shackle comes out. Chilling Touch is already on, and Abaddon, well, he's going to get the Aphotic Shield, but I just don't think it's enough. A few more right clicks. Easy peasy. Lucent Beam to finish him. Weaver will actually grab a kill on the Ancient Apparition. Adam, very low, but he will be able to Shikuchi away. So a 1-for-1, not that bad of a trade.
No.
Could have been worse. At least Weaver gets a
It's not
kill.
tri-lane versus duel.
But now he's coming
I'm
around.
being so cheeky right now.
Yeah, and this is a little bit risky. If Febby had continued to pursue, he might have been able to connect with a Lucent Beam. While we were watching that exchange, though, he did miss a kill in the mid. Invoker grabbed a solo kill on the Puck, and that is scary. Puck is level 5, and Invoker is halfway to level 8. That is worse than this bottom lane. Now Febby, he may die again. Scarabs come out. Adam will be able to dive this. He did use the salve. Smart play from Febby, just not enough. And now this Weaver is stuck in kind of no man's land. Doesn't matter, though. There's nobody nearby to punish him. And he will walk away. Two very low health heroes down bottom. So this duo lane actually starting to do some work as they pick up another kill on the Luna. Weaver actually has taken over on the net worth chart. He's 300 up on the Luna.
They're making us kind of eat our words a little bit about how the dual lane wasn't as good. We saw how strong this combo can be.
Yeah.
And so they're making it work despite.
Well, the trade-off was Shadow Shaman left the lane to gank mid, and that's when it was a duo lane versus
Tinbird
duo
once
lane.
more.
And yeah, he's going to come around. Now Adam's in big trouble. This is a free kill right here. There's the Hex, and easy kill. But anyhow, before that, when it was a duo lane, obviously Abaddon and Weaver have the better duo lane over a Luna Ancient Apparition. They just have more sustainability. He can dive the tower. But I think the gank mid was worth it. For the break-even down bottom, Invoker is just stomping Puck right now. Puck's about 1 creep from level 6. Invoker is now level 8. Look at the net worth difference. Almost 3K on MP, 1,200 on Danny. Phase boots versus no boots. Mid is just a disaster for MVP.
Right. And what Birdgang's been able to do here is he's been able to keep there, and as we try to go on top.
Uh-oh, yeah, Sky's in trouble. He does have a lasso, though. He'll pull Andrew into the tower.
Oh, what a turnaround.
Oh, the arrow off the mark, and yeah, he'll turn it around. Invoker ports in. Tornado. See you later, Crystal Maiden. That's a 2-0, going the other way. Birdgang with some momentum.
Well played by Sky.
Yeah, very well played.
And so what we've seen is that Crystal Maiden has just been able to not rotate at all.
Yeah, she has just had no impact.
She's been stuck. See, when you run these dual lanes, you really want your supports to be pretty malleable into where they can go. They can kind of move between lanes. They can rotate. And MVP is the one that's been able to move their supports around wherever they feel like.
Yeah. And even, like, Crystal Maiden, she's just been focusing on farming, except for that failed gank right there. She's only level 3, just about to hit level 4. Shadow Shaman, he's done the complete opposite. He's got 4 creep kills. No, well, he has 1 creep kill total, but he's 4-1-2 in hero kills, deaths, and assists. Yeah, sorry, that was some fail. I was like, wait, no.
Right.
I kept going back and forth there. But the kills have been more worth it. Yeah, oh, no. Now Febby's in some trouble. It is a 4-man rotation. Maybe they can grab another kill. Shadow Shaman. He's in some trouble. He's just going to try and pour it out. He knows the Dream Coil's down. Dubu does not have a Frostbite. And a nice heads-up play right there from Tenbird.
That was smart. Realizing that all the abilities were on cooldown that could break him out of the TP and just goes ahead and uses it.
Yeah.
But JU might be caught out.
Is it JU or JYU? Do you know? Is it like, I know when we're casting Asian teams, generally he's dead regardless, and Bat Rider will come in. Maybe we'll hold that thought for just a moment. He'll get frostbitten straight away, and yeah, he'll survive. But living life on the edge here. So I know usually with Asian teams that if there's like 3 letters like that, you say the letters. But is he JU instead of JYU, or do you just are we both clueless on this one?
I've got no clue, dude.
I don't know. Korean Dota has not been on my sleep schedule, so I haven't watched as much as I would have liked.
Well, the unfortunate thing for me is it has been on my sleep schedule somewhat, but I've just watched Starladder Korea instead. And they're going to look at this.
China, you mean? Yeah. Sky. It's going to be another 4-man gank. Nice use of the Moonlight Shadow, though. Sky did not see it coming. And they did that kind of feign that they were going to back, and they do turn it into a 2-0. But
when all else fails, man, just death ball.
Yeah, but space created. They do take out the Tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Shadow Shaman isn't even level 6 yet. That was without Rost awards. And I'm not so sure MVP will be able to grab this Tier 1 tower down in the bottom. BG will be rotating down, and they are ready to fight. There is an Eclipse available on Luna, and she will not hesitate to use it. Still, 4 members of MVP. They're now in retreat mode. Invoker in the front lines. He is cruising. There's the Tornado EMP. Will connect onto Sunbeam, pardon me. Dream Coil comes out, does connect on 2. And now MP takes a Frostbite, Illusory Orb. Birdgang are kind of on the back foot here. Luna still with the Eclipse available. At the very least, they will keep their Tier 1 tower alive, so they still make a pretty good exchange. Basically, 2 heroes for a Tier 1 mid. Kind of a break-even.
I just want to talk about how early all these lanes just completely broke down.
Yeah, we're not even 10 minutes in, and it's already 9 to 8, 5-man rotations coming out.
Exactly. The laning stage has been over for the last 2 minutes.
Can't even really say that there was much of a laning stage here, to be frank.
I mean, there was.
A little bit.
A little bit, because we talked about that
for a good 4 minutes or so.
That Tri-V dual engagement that was going on bot.
Invoker's very close to his mech, and this is a great mech timing. He's really farmed. He's way ahead on the net worth chart. He's about 50% ahead of the leading farmer on the Dire, who is the Weaver at about 3K, Invoker at 4.5. He's going to have Face Boots mech at like the 10.5 minute mark as the courier delivers the recipe.
How many mechanisms do you see built on Invoker nowadays?
Not that many. It's not a very common first item. Force Staff after Phase Boots is really the big common choice that you see these days. But going in early mech is never a bad thing, in my opinion. And I think Invoker he's an okay mech carrier. Maybe not the best, but it's the timing in this game that makes it particularly
and
potent.
It's good situational awareness because there's a lot of fighting going on, right?
Yes, exactly. Anytime there's early in fighting,
Tenbird
mech is really good. 5-man rotation for MVP, but Tenbird will survive. Eclipse comes out. That's enough to finish off the Crystal Maiden, and now this fight will totally break out. The Dream Coil comes. Moonlight Shadow, but they're fighting under the tower, so it will only do so much. Sky taking a lot of damage, but he will grab a lasso onto Andrew. That's a dead Mirana, and now the Moonlight Shadow will expire in just about 5 seconds or so. Birdgang will pursue. It has expired. Sunbee in big trouble, and Invoker's
time's already gone.
Too speedy. He gets the Aphotic Shield, a little bit more damage. They will have enough to finish him off. But Puck hops in, waiting Rift doing a lot, but where's the follow-up? EMP flies, the Weaver gets dropped. Danny will phase shift the EMP, nicely done. Still a disastrous fight for MVP. It is a 3-0.
And that Meg did some work.
Yeah, that's true. Great timing for the mech. That's the power of the early mech, man. I feel like a lot of teams undervalue how good mech is. I would go as far as saying it's an underrated item because
It's a trade-off, right? Because your core hero is having to spend 2 gold on a support item
2K
instead of a, like, well, yeah, 2K gold. 2 gold, yeah. Really,
2 gold. Well, that's a
really,
value.
really cost efficient. That value, man. And as we see an MP come out.
Ooh, Tornadoes actually does connect with Dubu there. And, oh, wow, the Abaddon. So wards come down. Won't do too much damage. Will end up being a little bit of free gold going the way of EMP as they get repelled. But
So, yeah, like I said, it's a trade-off between having your core hero having to sink 2K gold into a support item versus a more core item. So it's very situational, and I think
You mean like your solo mid getting like an
your
Invoker
solo mid getting it, like
Okay.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
like an Invoker getting it, like I'm trying to think of other mids that can get it. We've seen-
Viper always gets it.
when
That's
Fada
it.
plays Dragon Knight, he gets mech.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think it's situational. If there's a lot of fighting going out, it's
Yeah.
the best value you can get.
Yeah, I only say it's underrated because I think there are very
Radiant's
few
middle tower
games
is
when
under
mech
attack.
is not a cost-efficient item to pick up
Dire's
early on,
top
like before
tower
the
is
20-minute
under
mark,
attack.
and we see a surprising amount of games where teams just they don't opt for a mech, they just don't get it, or they think, it's not early enough. We want it on our support, but they don't have enough farm, and I think it's just, especially if you can get it by like 10 minutes, it's huge. 250 health at this point, that's a third of Morana's hit points.
Radiant's
Yeah,
middle
You know, that's
tower
a
is under
huge amount of
attack.
healing you can put out in an AoE. So I'm glad to see the mech come. It's a nice little change of pace. But Invoker, man, look at that net worth. 6,000. Weaver now at 3,500. Invoker almost doubling him. Sunbee in some trouble once again. That EMP is just, it's so good against Abaddon. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's good.
He just has no tools to deal with it. Up top, they will catch Danny in a lasso. Moonlight Shadow comes out, but they'll have plenty of damage to finish him off. One Lucent Beam to take him down low, and Bat Rider actually gets credit for the kill. But this Puck, he is just piss poor right now. He's got his power treads complete, bottle magic wand, but that's it. We're at the 13-minute mark, and he is 0% of the way to that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for them because if they
Yeah.
they need to find some way to make things happen. Because right now,
tower has
Birdgang is
fallen.
the one that's initiating. They're the ones dictating the way this fight's going. I haven't seen a whole lot of aggressive Moonlight Shadows. The majority of these have been defensive, like to escape with.
They had that one down bottom, but all the others have been
Right,
just
exactly. Yeah. So that's not really a situation you want to be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's also scary about Puck's lack of blink is that there's already one up on the Shadow Shaman as well as the Bat Rider, so there's plenty of initiation on the side of Birdgang, and MVP, they're really relying on this Puck to find some good initiations. If they don't have Puck with a blink that can hop in and Dream Coil or Silence or what have you, it's kind of on this Mirana to connect with an arrow to start off these fights, and although that's possible, that's just not a reliable spell that you want to be counting on to start
Tinberg's
off
going
the
to
fight.
initiate on Adam down here.
Yeah, he's in some trouble. EMP to start things off after the shackle, and Weaver will die before he can even get the time lapse. Arrow flies, but it's just a little too late. Now the Tornado connects with Andrew, and even the Tornado does a sizable amount of damage. I mean, look at this. The blink forward, Mirana just dies. She just melts under the pressure. Dubu, same story, different chapter. He'll take a miscoil. He tries to fog in the trees, but they're happy to dive this tower. Triple kill coming out for MP.
That's what 6 points in Wex will give you. It's not. Usually we start seeing some points in Exort at this point, but
He's a speedy devil.
MP doesn't care. He doesn't want any of those Exort spells. He just
don't want any of that garbage.
all
What
he
do you need it
wants.
for?
All he wants is these
Dire's
tornado
bottom
EMPs,
tower
the
has
occasional
fallen.
cold snap.
The occasional cold snap.
I mean, that's all we've seen. Have we seen
No,
any other
you're-
spells?
No, you're exactly right. It was just
He doesn't
funny
have any
that
other spells.
EMP tornado, some cold snaps here. That's
That's
just
it.
casual cold snap mixed in, and that will translate to a tier 1 and tier 2 tower kill. It looks like this could be a quick game 1 here. K-Pop Tosis. We've got about a
Dire's bottom
12,000
tower
gold
has
lead,
fallen.
10,000 experience for BG.
Radiant's
Yeah.
top tower
This is
under
just-
attack.
This Weaver's net worth is
Massacre.
lower than the Shadow Shaman's by a
Yeah, I mean-
sizable margin at this point.
Now they've just knocked down all these
Radiant's
towers.
middle
There's
tower is
only
under
2
attack.
remaining. Total tower count is 4-0, of course, in favor of Birdgang. And let's take a look at inventories. Luna going the very greedy Helm of the Dominator first. Is there anything on the courier for her? Yes, there is an Ogre Club, so she'll be going into BKB. Force Staff now up on the Invoker following that mech that he grabbed that we talked about quite a bit. He's got another 2,300 gold just sitting in savings. So he's got even more gold than he knows what to do with right now, to be frank.
And this Weaver's still several minutes off from his Lincoln Sphere, which is...
Oh.
I know there's some groans that go out from the crowd when Weaver goes Lincoln's first item, but against a Bat Rider, it's pretty necessary.
Yeah, I think
and he's still a solid 5 minutes off from it.
And this is part of the reason that Weaver has fallen off as a prominent pick, and I like to call it Morphling Syndrome. You kind of need that Lincoln's core item first, and then you need another item after that before you get really scary. Andrew in the mid lane taking a lot of damage, but MP won't pursue to finish it off. But, you know, even once he gets the Lincolns, he still won't be that scary. He's going to need a Desolator or a Crit or something after that before you're like, oh, God, it's Weaver. We better get the hell out of here, you know?
Exactly.
And by the time that happens, I mean, BG will be knocking on the front door, taking out Tier 3 towers and picking on your racks. And that's what's scary. Even this Luna hasn't really come online yet, but she's still done a lot of damage. Up top, Adam's going to get caught. They just have so much crowd control to deal with this Weaver. He does not shine in a game where he can be locked down and there's enough damage to kill him before he can time lapse. And that's what we've seen now in like back-to-back-to-back kills on him.
Exactly.
Shadow Shaman is a good hero against Weaver, to be fair.
No, he's great. Any type of multiple CC is very strong against him, and they've got a lot of it. And the Bat Rider, even the Luna, the Lucent Beam isn't great, but it kind of slows him down, allows for the chase a little bit. It can pop the Lincolns when he gets the Lincolns, which is okay. And if you get some like Shackles into Cold Feet is not the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah, that's very true.
Dire's
And
top
Mirana,
tower
she's only
is
got
under
phase boots
attack.
up, working towards drums, it looks like. She does have a bracer. There will be a Moonlight Shadow coming out. Sky will blink forward, but doesn't have detection and won't be able to grab the Mirana. Arrow will fly, and it's off the mark. Now, MVP, can they find Initiation? Puck with 1,500 gold, obviously still without a Blink Dagger. They're going to be forced to basically watch this tower die. Sky will
Oh, and a
hop
great
forward.
Aphotic Shield.
Yeah, that does cleanse the lasso.
Radiant's bottom tower
So
has
there you go.
fallen.
Dubu will survive. It's hard for a Batten to actually cleanse that because the range, the cast range is so low, but well done, and that totally neuters the power of the lasso. In comes the Dream Coil, does connect with 3, but out comes the Eclipse. First to fall will be the Crystal Maiden. Invoker actually gets
Didn't
picked off. Down goes Weaver, Puck, and the Abaddon. So although they lose their mid-hero, it's still a 4-for-1, and Andrew not out of the clear quite yet. Sky hops
GG
forward.
is the call.
They'll finish him off, and
Dire's top tower
18 minutes, 23-9. I don't think that was a premature tap out. That would have been racks up top. I mean, what could MVP do at that point?
I hate to call it case of the metas,
A case of the metas.
but it is indeed a case of the metas. Like Birdgang that's a very, very trendy lineup they have, and for good reason. It's an extremely strong tri-lane. They have a lot of ability to do damage early with the Lunar Blessing plus Chilling Touch combo that we talked about so much. Invoker, as we all know, is an extremely strong pick this patch, and Bat Rider is just a hero that can make a lot happen, and he doesn't have to be in a solo mid position to make it happen. He can go into the off lane and just get levels and get a couple items and make stuff happen.
I think the way MVP set up those lanes, they were just sort of doomed from the start. Although Weaver and Abaddon did well in kind of that...
Better than we thought.
It was
even.
like a 2 versus 2.5. Rasta was there sometimes, but it wasn't a true dedicated tri-lane. Rasta was more roaming around. And those two heroes did well, but I think the Crystal Maiden in the jungle was really the big bottleneck for their strategy. She's just... It's just not a viable strategy anymore. She doesn't farm fast enough for it to be useful, you know?
If you're going to do it, you have to rotate a lot more than she
You
did.
need-
And in theory, rotating on an Invoker should be one of the easier things to do. He's not a hero that has a lot of escape mechanisms. He's not... if you get a lot of points in Quas early, it's a little bit hard, but typically you can do it, but there wasn't any successful rotations.
Yeah.
So she was kind of wasted up in the top lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shadow Shaman, he was like, 4-1-3, while Crystal Maiden was 0-0-1. He just had such a bigger impact. So
No impact
I think
at all.
MVP need to reevaluate that draft a little bit. I think the next game will get started pretty quickly here. So we'll hop into a break, and we'll come up with Game 2 of this best-of-3 series between Birdgang and MVP Hot6. You're watching the Starladder Korean Season 9 playoffs. There's only 4 teams left. And I think 3 days for this small little 4-team double elimination bracket. So the conclusion of this series coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. More Dota coming your way.